Hello, everybody. Mitzi Cruz here, host of Lincoln Live. Today, we are on day 2 of our Lincoln Live Marathon, where we are showcasing and highlighting local business owners and 501c3 nonprofits, community leaders, folks that are making a difference in our community at this time and beyond. So joining us today is Kris Knutson with the Lincoln Community Foundation. And first of all, Kris, I just want to thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. I came to Lincoln in 1994, and I taught in the Western Placer Unified School District until 2013. I was both a teacher and a principal up at Sheridan.
Oh.
And I was a principal up at Sheridan for 10 years, and that was totally awesome. Had a great time up there. When I retired, I had been a member of the Lions Club in Lincoln for, well, it's been 20 years now. And then I became a member of the Community Foundation, the Lincoln Community Foundation. And now they've forced me to be president, and so that's my role. My wife and I, Rosemary, we have made it our mission in life to give back. We were pretty fortunate with what we were able to do, and giving back has been such a rewarding thing for us. And being able to do what we've done with both the school district and now with the foundation and the Lions has been very, very rewarding.
That is so awesome. You know, it's funny. One of my sons actually went to Sheridan in the preschool program, actually back when there was still a preschool program there.
Right on. I started that. That was totally cool.
No way. Yeah, so gosh, that would have been, so he was born in 06, so he would have been in preschool right around, the 2011, or no, I guess 2009, 2010, somewhere in there.
Yeah. That was one of the coolest things that we were able to do, was to develop the preschool system in Lincoln. That was really neat. We had a great time with that.
Yeah, I love that. It really did set him up, and it was funny because he would get bused every morning from the corner of and then they would bus him out to Sheridan. So yeah. Pretty cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Great to hear that.
So tell us about the Lincoln Community Foundation, what its role is, who it serves. Give it all to us.
So the Lincoln Community Foundation, our role in the community is to enrich the community, to make it a better place for all of us to live and thrive. And so we have an endowment fund that we use for grants, and annually we use the interest derived from the money that is in the endowment to grant to various 501c3s that apply. Our thinking is that the 501c3s are organizations that are focused on enriching our community, and we want to be a part of that. So that's our function.
That is awesome. And when did the Lincoln Community Foundation get started?
Oh, I wish you wouldn't have asked me that question. I'm only the president. I don't have all those answers. It's been about 15 years, I believe, that it's been in existence.
That's amazing, because gosh, the population of Lincoln 15 years ago, it was like, what, half of what it is now, or just about, right?
It really was. And that's one of our biggest focuses is, so we, like I say, we grant the interest that we derive each year from the fund. Well, as the community has grown, the needs have grown as well. And you can imagine the number of 501c3s that were here 15 or 20 years ago and the number that are here now. It's much different, and there's a much greater need. A lot more activity in Lincoln that we can be a part of, but we need the money. We need more money in our endowment in order to gain more interest and thereby be able to produce more grants. So
it makes a lot of
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yep.
So with everything going on in the current environment that we're all just doing our best to navigate, how has that impacted fundraising and things like that?
So we have everybody in Lincoln who is a 501c3 and depends on fundraising has been impacted. Everybody, with us included. We were one of the first ones. We do an annual bingo in March, and the week that our bingo was to occur was the week that we decided to start shutting things down in Lincoln. And so our group was asked not to do the bingo. We were the first group to be affected by that. Yeah. But so that was that's one of our major fundraisers. However, every group is going to be affected by this. Yeah. For instance, the Lions Club has 2 crab feeds each year, one in November and one in February. And those are great big gatherings. There's 400 people in the pavilion, and whether or not we'll be able to do that is up for speculation. So
right. Yeah, and likewise, I know the Lighthouse, we heard from Gary McDonald a few weeks ago. So the Lighthouse ordinarily does the Celebrity Waiter Luncheon in May. That obviously has been canceled this year. And, you know, I think that as a community, we're all trying to kind of figure out how do we support service organizations and other community members. But it gets a little tricky too, because we have to look down the line and, you know, as the community at large, how our life's going to be affected long term as well. So there's so many unknowns. We're just all kind of doing our best to navigate. Uh-oh, we lost you.
We have in Lincoln is this community foundation, and the community foundation is able to help all the nonprofits, which is totally cool. And so what we decided was, I'm trying to fix my volume so that I can hear you again. There we go, I think. Oh.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sounding good.
Okay, there we go. So what we decided was, okay, it's time to open up the piggy bank with our foundation and not just look at our interests this year. If there's one thing that our foundation was founded on, was helping the community, and this is the time in our lifetimes that this is going to be put into effect.
Right.
So do you want me to go into what we've done so far?
Yes, please. We want to hear all about it.
It's pretty exciting. So we were looking at the community, or at the organizations in our community that reach the furthest, the ones that help the greatest number of people. And the lighthouse is definitely one of them.
Yes.
The salt mine is another.
Yes.
And both of those organizations had major curtailment to their fundraising abilities. The lighthouse, like you said, the lighthouse wasn't able to do their celebrity waiter luncheon, which in an ordinary year would gain $85,000.
Absolutely.
The salt mine uses their thrift store to buy food. The money earned out of that thrift store buys the food for them to be able to have their daily giveaways of their food for the people in Lincoln. The thrift store was shut down. Yeah. So there went that money.
Right.
So we looked at both of those organizations and we decided, like I said, to open up the piggy bank.
Yeah.
And we awarded both of them $5,000 grants last week. And then our foundation is meeting weekly now to go over requests that come in.
Right.
And this week, we're awarding both of them with $25,000 checks.
That is
so
wonderful.
Both organizations will get $30,000 from the Lincoln Community Foundation. Amazing to me. I just think that is the coolest thing that we could do. So we also were able to fund about $2,500 worth of masks for the city of Lincoln, which is really cool.
Yes.
Another thing that we were able to do was to fund the St. Vincent de Paul. I lost it for a second. St. Vincent de Paul has a food closet in Lincoln as well, and we were able to fund them as well with a $5,000 award. So in the last couple of weeks, that piggy bank has opened up and put forth quite a few dollars into the community.
Can I just, it's funny that you named all three of those organizations. If I could just share a little bit of my story, and I'm not sure how familiar you may be with it, just previous episodes of Lincoln Life, but when I came to Lincoln in 2006, shortly thereafter, as a single mom, 3 children, I relied very heavily for a span of actually a couple of years on the salt mine, the lighthouse, and St. Vincent de Paul. So it's ironic. I remember thinking, gosh, how can I even begin to try to repay these organizations? And now I'm just so blessed to be in a position to serve, at least with the lighthouse. And then the salt mine's been our home church since we moved to Lincoln. So that's just been incredible. But I really appreciate those efforts. But I know that eventually the piggy bank starts to get a little light. So how do we come together as a community and refill that?
So the big day of giving's coming up. And the big day of giving is the day that I think everybody in Lincoln needs to come forth and drop money in the till. Right. And make sure that you get online with any of the organizations in Lincoln, whether it's the Community Foundation or the Rotary or the Knights of Columbus or whatever it is. People need to drop money into their tills on the big day of giving, because this year fundraising is going to be absolutely minimal.
Right.
We just aren't, all of our organizations work really, really, really hard to go out and seek money and fundraise and do things that enable us to do things for the community. And this year, just with all the regulations that have been put forth so far and are probably more to come, I foresee this being a very, very difficult year for all of the organizations in town.
Right. Yeah, and
No.
I mean that's the thing. You know, I know that in the past, a lot of people have done well to support the Big Day of Giving, and
Yes.
then there's some incentive on that, right? Because the Big Day of
Yes.
Giving, they'll match
Yep.
a certain portion. Is that how it works? Tell us a little bit about
That's
that.
correct. Yes. So when you give, the Big Day of Giving actually matches a portion of what you give, which is so cool. So not only are we getting, say you donate $25, they come in and give money as well. So the organization is able to thrive once the Big Day of Giving is over. It always amazes me, no matter whether there's a crisis or not,
Right.
how many people come out to support our folks in Lincoln. Lincoln is just an amazing place to live.
It is.
It really is.
Yes.
Yep.
So
And I also want to add that it isn't just Lincoln, it's Lincoln and Sheridan both.
Yes.
So all of our organizations support the Western Placer school district boundaries. So all of us support what's in those boundaries, and that includes Sheridan. So.
I think that's really important to note. Some people, depending on how long people have been here in town, they may or may not be super familiar with Sheridan. But you know, there's not a lot of local businesses, things like that in Sheridan, and there's really not a lot of support other than this collaboration, right, that comes from
Right.
The Lincoln Community Foundation, Salt Mine, and Lighthouse, and all of that. So we're all trying to kind of, you know, wrap Sheridan into that, into that umbrella, if you will. So we can't forget about that.
Ever since I was the principal there, I have made that a mission to make sure that they're taken care of. So
I love that. Yep. Yeah. So what day is the Big Day of Giving, and how can people participate?
That's another one that I can't, I don't have the date with me. But we will be advertising on our website, as well as I'm sure everybody you have on will be advertising as well. But you can get on there, or you can get on to any of our websites. And so the Lincoln Community Foundation website, or the Lincoln Community Foundation Facebook page. But it isn't just us, it's everybody, it's all of the organizations in Lincoln. So the organization that you want to support, get on there and support them.
And so I did look it up. So the Big Day of Giving is Thursday, May 7th. So Thursday, May 7th, and then we will post a link to the Big Day of Giving to the website, so you can go on, support local service organizations such as the Lincoln Community Foundation that does so much to support our community, especially in times like this.
Yeah. The one other thing about our foundation, I have said things about the other organizations in town, but we also support all of those organizations as well. So any of them can ask for a grant from us, and we will give that to them as well. So, yep.
Gotcha. And Kris, before we wrap up, we're not live, so unfortunately we can't take questions and comments from the audience, but we can encourage sharing of this video. Share this video by noon tomorrow. So that would be Wednesday, April 22nd. Comment, share it in the comments below, and then you'll be entered into the raffle. And did you want to tell everybody what that raffle prize is?
So the raffle prize, so I have two things to say. So we have a raffle prize, and the raffle prize is from the Rogers family, the coffee out there in the warehouses back in Lincoln there. And we have a gigantic gift basket from them. That's one. So and coffee seems to be a necessity nowadays. So we have a great big basket. Then we were talking this morning, and what we're going to do, we were going to raffle off 2 great big TVs at our bingo event in March, and it got canceled. So now we have decided that what we'll do is the biggest donation that the foundation gets on the big day of giving will also receive a big screen TV, and it's a 55-inch TV, I think it is. So
wow. So just to recap, because you cut out for just a second, so the biggest donor on the big day of giving, I'm guessing, is the one that gets the big screen TV?
Yes, they are.
Awesome. Yep.
And we'll make a big deal of it.
That's right.
Right on.
Did you have any final thoughts before we wrap up? Anything else that we haven't chatted about that you wanted to mention?
No, I just want everybody to make sure that they're watching out for all of our businesses in town, and when you eat out, make sure that you're ordering from our businesses here in town, as well as on that big day of giving, make sure that you open up your pocketbooks and give to your favorite organizations.
That's right.
In Lincoln.
In Lincoln.
Stay in Lincoln.
Yes, keep it local. That's the whole message. That's what this whole week's about, and really what it's about, just in general. So
yeah.
Gosh.
All of our folks in town are our friends, and we want to make sure that our friends are taken care of.
Absolutely. And, you know, our friends are employing local employees, people that, you know, live right here in Lincoln and spend their money right here in Lincoln. And it really helps. And see, I could go on and on about that forever, but I think, that's the most important thing, especially now more than ever. We have to pull together, and we have to support the folks that are supporting those in the community that are really being hardest hit through all of this as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally agree.
So I just want to thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you. And just every single time the Lincoln Community Foundation is involved with any conversation, I'm just so impressed by everything you guys do. And just thank you so much for your service and continuing to support the Lincoln and Sheridan communities.
You are very welcome. And the Community Foundation is an excellent organization. So if you're interested as well as serving on our board, you can get a hold of us as well, and we will absolutely entertain that.
Awesome. Well,
right.
Thank you again so much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And don't worry, I will be posting links to all of the the different ways people can learn more about the foundation and reach out to you to potentially serve on the board.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, Kris.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.